So CRISPR might sound like a tasty snack, but it's actually a very specific, very reliable gene editing tool. And for the most part, America's been leading in research for this tool. But recently, China's really picked it up. And the large reason for that is that the Chinese government has invested a huge amount of money into modifying crops to feed their large population, and also xenotransplantation, which is basically where you take a donor animal, like a pig, you knock out a ton of genes in that pig, and then you can take organs that are no longer using those genes and put it into a human. And because it's not expressing those genes, not using those genes, certain proteins aren't being created, and then that organ can be used in a human being because your body's not going to identify the missing proteins and recognize the organ as foreign. It's not all great though. Recently, one scientist was able to knock out a specific gene that HIV targets in immune cells, and he was able to make human children. He was working on human embryos, and he made those human children immune to HIV, which sounds great, which is awesome. But the problem is it crossed a lot of ethical barriers. CRISPR really isn't ready for use on humans, even though it's reliable. It doesn't work all the time, and it's not 100% specific. So it's really not safe to use on a person yet. And there's a lot of concern about whether this was just a freak accident, that he kind of slipped through all the regulatory cracks, or whether this is going to be a continuing trend with China, where they're going to continue to test on human beings, kind of push boundaries. That's all there's to it.